cracks or the widening gaps. Also claims and agitations of one-sided political appointments in what is seen as the most lucrative federal ministries, departments, and agencies, the MDAs, quite at variance with the federal character principle, though not peculiar to the present administration, but of course, one begins to wonder, where are we heading to with such, when appointments are made, the analysis and all that.
Right. Mr. Joe, first I would want us to understand that appointments are the prerogative of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. It is part of his powers, constitutional powers, that he is delegating to whoever he wants to delegate.
What happens to the federal character?
I am also going there.
Principle.
Yes. It is the responsibility of the President to delegate powers, his constitutional power, to whosoever he wish to delegate that power to. And one. Number two, don't forget, it is an issue of trust. Everything stops at the bulk desk of the President. If you do right, is the President. If you do wrong, is the President, because he is the one that appoints you into that office, and he takes the credit or the blame, whichever, either of the two. Now, if the President decides to appoint whosoever he wish to appoint into whatever office he so wish, I think it shouldn't be an issue of hues and cries. The most important thing I feel Nigerians should be looking at is the person appointed into that office capable of handling that office and delivering into the reason why he's been appointed. I think that should be the first thing that Nigerians need to look at: the professionalism, the capacity, the capability, the ability, the competence, the willingness, the patriotism, the love for Nigeria that that person is being appointed into that office.
We may be coming back to the argument or debate of meritocracy and zoning, and others will ask, are there no brains from all regions?
Yes, there are brains in all regions, but like you earlier mentioned,
in a country like Nigeria, yes, where there's so much ethnic groups, the diversity in a democracy or democratic system where people should be carried along.
You see,
striking a balance.
You see, this such kind of complaint it's a Nigerian attitude. It's a Nigerian thing. It is an inborn thing in every Nigerian. No matter, even if you back a Nigerian, if you back him from morning till night, when you drop him, he will tell you that you still have you are supposed to have backed me till the next 1 hour. Why are you dropping me?
At times, I didn't know basis for such complaints.
Well, there could be some basis for such complaints, but it is not. Like I said, it is the prerogative of the President to appoint whoever he wants to appoint. And don't forget, it has always been like this. When Obasanjo was in power, let me start from from 1999 till now. Let us not even look beyond that time. From 1999 till now, when Obasanjo was in power, when he appointed his ministers, there were hues and cries that the appointment is not balanced. The appointment is one-sided. He has given lucrative offices or ministries, departments or agencies to his looks and crannies. That complaint was there. When Obasanjo left power, Eradua came into power. The same complaint we had when Obasanjo was in office, the same complaint we had when Eradua was there. It was being counted that so-so and so-so ministry and so-so office is being allocated to. In fact, either you target it to Yorubas when Obasanjo was in power. It was said it was taken over all by the lucrative offices and department agencies and ministries were taken over by Yorubas. When Eradua came in, it was also insinuated that it was taken over by Hausas. In fact, not only Hausas, Muslims, but even people from the Northwest. When Jonathan came in, the same thing, there was a complaint that the people that are benefiting and enjoying government as at the time of Jonathan was people from the Niger Delta region. That has always been the insinuation. Same when Muhammadu Buhari came in, it's the same complaint. So it is a Nigerian thing. No matter how you try to do it, Nigerians will always want to complain of either tribe, religion, or their region. It will always come to this. And why is this happening? It is just a fault line, a fault finding line, because every region or a lot of people from such regions will always want to find fault in what whoever is leading the country as at that time. If he is of the northern region, then the southern, eastern, and possibly the Niger Deltans will always want to find one reason or the other to find fault in the person leading if he's from the north. If he's from the south, the northerners will always want to find one reason or the other to get a fault that person is. But that was why I said the best that should have been done is not about which region, religion, or tribe the person is coming from, but does he have the prerogative qualities, qualification, patriotism, nationalism, the will to work for the sake of a country that he called his own, that he has no any other than that very country. Right. I think this should be part of what should be considered, not religion,
right.
tribe, region.
As a result to some of these issues, some Nigerians are genuinely concerned and either calling for holistic restructuring or a referendum, but coming to a negotiation table demands mutual understanding, respect, and need to shift grounds. How ready are we? We're talking about respect, talking about tolerance, both of ethnic groups and religion, also that mutual understanding and all that. How ready are we, and do we exhibit such to actually come to the table and look at these issues either ways holistically? I
repeat, I hope that people will not misunderstand what I'm about to say now, or misinterpret what I'm about to say right now. When you talk of tolerance, I will say clearly and without mentioning what that the northerners have been very, very tolerant and patient with all other regions concerning this issue of, if you like, memorandum or restructuring or referendum or whatever you want to call it. I would say that the northerners have been more patient, the northerners have been more polite, the northerners have been more accommodating in terms of that one. It is just recently that the northerners are coming to say, okay, let's also go for the referendum, or let's go for the restructuring or whatever. If not, before the most recently, in the last 3 months or thereabout, the northerners has always maintained that there should be no referendum or there should be no restructuring. Nigeria is one country and should remain as one country, and the federal system of government as is being operated, the northerners are of the opinion that it should continue to be like that. The issue of regionalization and what have you, northerners were of the opinion, if not most recently, like I said, in the last 3 months or thereabout, the northerners never wanted to be part of this issue, either restructuring or whatever. But if you check, the other regions have always been persistent. Even let's look at it from 1999 till date. From 1999 till date, on all these years, it is only in the last 3 months that the northerners are now coming up to say, okay, let's go for the restructuring.
Is it bowing to pressure, or actually seeing this as a way forward?
No,
in addressing issues.
It is not bowing to pressure.
Challenging the country.
It is not bowing to pressure. The northerners are unifiers, if you like. Let me use that word. The northerners are unifiers. They try to unify to make sure that the unity of the country is not broken, to make sure that the unity of the country is being maintained, to make sure that the unity and togetherness, the love, the brotherhood of this nation continue to be one and the same. That was why the northerners were looking at restructuring and maybe all this referendum and what have you, if allowed, could bring cracks among the ranks.
Concerned citizens and the genuine advocates of restructuring is not about calling for division of the country. It has been tabled just looking at issues and how best those issues should be handled for the benefit of the country.
Mr. Joe, this restructuring, this referendum we are talking about is dependent and subject to the understanding and interpretation of those that are saying it. Even if you look at it at the regional setting, from north, west, south, east, Niger Delta, you will discover that the interpretation of each of the region of what they see as, or what they perceive restructuring to be, might not be the same with other regions.
But at
There's-
least
there's diversity.
the ones we know issues of resource control.
Thank you. And the issue of the
and
resource
all
control
that.
itself. And then
Devolution of power.
yes, going back to that, you see, I think we shouldn't be thinking of borrowing from what, okay, fine, it has happened in the past where we have the parliamentary system of government and what have you. But I think Nigerians should critically sit down and think, instead of all this restructuring, this referendum and what have you, Nigerians should, like I said before, come together, sit, look at the country, do things our own way, the Nigerian way, not borrowing from either America or from Germany or from UK or from France or from any other country that you can think of. They, like the Americans had their presidential system of government, it is the American creation, it is the American invention. The British had a parliamentary system of government, it is their own invention, it is their own creation. So, but we are all, the ones we had, the one we had parliamentary, we are copying Britain. Now we are having presidential, we are copying the American system of government. I think Nigeria in its own peculiarity should also sit and think and create its own system of administration. Don't forget, before the coming of the white man to Nigeria, that is before the amalgamation of Nigeria in 1914, we had each of the clan, if you like, had our own system of administration and leadership. We have our own value chain, we have our own way of leadership, we have our own way of followership, we have, if you like, even our religion that we practice, and that has also taught us how the value of leadership, the value and respect, like you said, to the elders and the constitutional, or rather constituted authority, which has gradually we have been deviating from that and changing from something else. Before now, when you're moving on the street, you don't need to, when you see a child doing what is not right, he doesn't need to be your child, you don't need to know whose child he is, but once you see him doing what is not right, you correct him there and then, because you believe a child is for everybody. But this time around, my brother, you know very well that that is not the way